Hello there viewers, it's Super GT here and welcome back to some Forza 4 gameplay. So some of you in the comment section below in previous videos have been asking that I go back into Forza 4, so here you are, and of course I am in A class in the Honda NSX. So we're going to have a very scrappy start to begin with. I'm going to go back into the back of the Lotus. So we are in 6th place now. But this race is going to turn out to be a very defensive race, although I will go forward from here. You might have just seen behind me there, not the Lotus, but the other car, I can't even remember what it is, the big old American muscle car, let's call it. That's going to spend a lot of time behind me because I'm going to try and be very defensive in this race. So I am in 5th place now, obviously trying to get as forward as much as I can. So going into this chicane here, I'm going to dive up the inside with a tidy-ish move, but on the exit it's not going to be... I'm going to correct the oversteer a bit and then nudge him slightly, but he carries on, so that wasn't too bad. But then there you can see, I think it's a Pontiac GTO, goes flying up the inside, smashing everything in this path out of the way. He goes too deep, so I'm going to do a cutback on him. Make sure you, if people do go up your inside, make sure you always leave enough space for a cutback, because you can always overtake people coming back out of the corner if they do overtake you. Just a quick note, traction control is on in this race, but if anything it probably isn't helping me because this car is very grippy anyway, so it's probably actually slowing me down if anything. I forgot to turn it off because I haven't played this game in a while. So we're going round onto the back straight on the final lap, on the first lap, sorry. And there you can see that the Pontiac is right on my back. Do correct me if I'm getting that wrong, if that's not a Pontiac. So I'm going to go defensive, go to the inside, so he has to go around the outside. Get a rather slow line through the chicane, but you can see there that I have a bit of a gap, comfort gap going into the final corner, and now onto the main straight at the start of lap 2. So there we have it, the car behind us is gaining, so I'm going to go to the inside again, so he's going to be forced around the outside. He's slightly ahead upon braking, but I'm just going to cover the inside line, make sure he can't do a cutback on me. So use all the track width, again get on the throttle quite early. What you want to do on these corners is just hog the apex essentially, which means that they can't get up your inside on the exit of the corner. So again here, just stick very very close to the apex. There's nothing you can do apart from go around the outside, which is very unlikely because he's in a big old American muscle car, which probably won't have the handling. The only car that can probably go around the outside of this car might be like the Lotus or something like that, but there's no way that his car could do that. So just play to your strengths and play to his weaknesses. So just cover the apexes and make sure he can't do that. Plus on the straights, just block him. Obviously not illegally, just use one block, move over not too late, just do it within reason, and you should be okay. For this race I managed to block him for a lot of the race. So you can see here we're going to gain on another Honda NSX. I think that might be the Acura NSX actually. Both are very good cars for A class. So going around the middle chicane, coming up to the second chicane on the start of the 3rd sector of Nurburgring GP. So hooking up the apex nicely, get back over to the left hand side here for a good run through the right hander onto the back straight. So I'm going to make sure I pick up as much slipstream as possible. You want to maximise your gains through the race as much as possible, so if there is a car ahead of you, just make sure you get in the slipstream to get a couple of tenths, or I don't know how much you gain, but you'll gain something. So the NSX goes a bit wide, blocks me off in exactly the wrong position. I had nowhere to go, so I had to put my brakes on quite aggressively there. So onto the back straight, onto the main straight now. We are neck and neck, two NSXs. You can see that that NSX is slightly wider than my one. I think that's the Acura NSX. So I'm not going to go fully defensive this time. The muscle car goes up my inside. I'm going to go up the inside of the NSX, but the orange car brakes too late, so I'm going to do a cutback overtake on him and retain 2nd place. 1st place looks quite a way away, and to be honest it'll be very hard to go defensive at the same time as going forward to try and catch 1st place. Normally you sort of settle for a position So I've probably settled for second place now because the first looks quite far away, and I'm just going to try and block this guy for the rest of the race. So again, go defensive there. He's forced around the outside, but he doesn't fancy it, so he just brakes on time. Go a little bit wide there, but I don't leave enough. I only leave less than a car width on the inside, so he can't put his nose up the inside and try and get past me. Looking back there, I have enough space going into the bottom hairpin. Go a bit wide, but then you can cut back for a late apex, better traction and exit speed. Coming up to the uphill chicanes, touch the curb on the outside there to maximise the track width. Again, use that curb. It can throw you off though if you're not careful. I'm looking at the distance markers on the top left. He's pulling very close, within 30 feet there, which is actually right behind me on the track. I do have a guide for like knowing when to go defensive and that, so you can check my channel for that. It's quite an old video though. So this is where it's going to get very tricky because he's got a run on me. I can't go fully defensive, so I'm just going to have to let him go past, unfortunately, on the last lap. And coming into the chicane, he goes a bit wide, but gets a decent run because he's got a lot of power. And this is where I make a bit of a fool of myself. I go up the inside and go over the bumps, and my car doesn't brake so well, which lets that Corvette Stingray through. So I felt a bit disappointed with that race. So I sort of just let everyone go past at the end, but I thought that was a good race up until the last chicane, when I just couldn't quite do enough to stop the guy overtaking me. Yeah, it was a Pontiac GTO in the end. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I thought that was a good race to bring you. Obviously, comment down below if you want to see more. I have been playing Forza 4 and 5 online quite a lot recently, so if you want to see more of that, make sure you let me know. Give me a like as well, subscribe if you want to see more Super Racing Game content. So thank you very much for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.